tracking every time a new week passes. The counters will reduce by 1 for the projects that we have going on. Content tokens, we'll just have to kind of keep track of our on our own. I don't think there's anything in place here for that. But basically, if at any point you disagree with what somebody else is doing, just say I'm taking a contempt token, and then we'll talk about how to use them later.
Okay.
So, like, for example, if I say this group of people did X, and John's like, that seems like a bunch of bullshit, I'm going to take a contempt token. You know? So that's basically how that's going to work.
Gotcha.
And then we have a summary card at the very top that everybody's able to edit. And we'll just, one of us will just kind of keep summary of what is going on. If we don't keep up with this, I'm going to feel out the recording and I can always come back.
Mm-hmm. Is this plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged in.
Okay, so next, there are 4 decks of cards representing different times of the year.
Cool.
We'll be pulling from them and I'll give you a couple of prompts. You can decide which one you want to do, and then we'll go on from there. Eventually, when we get to winter, the King of Spades will be drawn, and at that point the game ends completely. And as the DM, I'll decide what the King of Spades represents in our game. It'll be like a world-altering event, basically.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Hmm.
Like control.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so who are we? We all have roles to play in this game. The first is to represent the community at a bird's eye level and to care about the city. So basically, we want the city to prosper. That's our goal. Second is to dispassionately introduce dilemmas as scientists conducting experiments.
Sorry, go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, no problem. So basically, we want to propose problems and solutions constantly. We want to be playing devil's advocate as much as we want to be trying to help the people. You know, like, you don't want to just blatantly give them free resources, because that's not how the world works. But you don't want to be, like, incredibly harsh, I guess.
Right.
We'll see how it goes. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
We don't embody specific characters or act out scenes. Instead, we represent current of thought within the community. When we speak or take action, we might be representing a single person or a great many. If we allow ourselves to take care about the fate of these people, the quiet era becomes a richer experience and serves as a lens for understanding communities in conflict. We also be presented with to introduce new issues for the community to deal with. This will often happen when we draw cards that use the discover something new action by dispassionately introducing dilemmas and then returning to our other role as representatives of the community. We create tension and make the community success to feel real. Wow. I'm having trouble reading. So, sketching terrain. Before the game begins, we must establish some facts about the community and what its surroundings are like. We begin with a brief discussion, taking 2 minutes at most, of the general terrain and the habitat of the area. This can be as simple as someone saying, how about a community in a rocky desert, and everyone else nodding in agreement. At this point, each of us should introduce one detail about the local terrain. When we introduce our detail, we then sketch our contribution onto the map. These sketches should be rough and simple, leaving lots of blank space for additions during play. The community itself should be fairly large on the map, perhaps occupying a third of the sheet, unless otherwise stated. Assume that our community has 60 to 80 members. So Vanaras is actually quite a bit larger Vanaras being the largest city on this planet, and I have it at a population of about 1.4 million people.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
Oh, wow.
Just a little bit bigger. Okay, so as an example, a group might decide to set their game in a forest. The first player introduces the detail, alright, the forest is full of young, spindly trees. The next player adds, and it's nestled in a steep mountain range, and so on and so on. Everyone should take a chance to introduce and draw the map before proceeding. So we can all discuss the type of terrain they're in currently. Like, is it a desert? Are they in tundra? Are they in a forest that's still going? Where are they located?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Do you want to discuss that now?
Yeah, so we'll just kind of open that up for discussion.
Well, it's on the North Pole, right?
Yeah, this one would be on the North Pole.
Yeah. So it's the North Pole, but it's warmer because it's livable now.
Yes,
Which is
like
kind of a tundra.
I think.
the way I picture this is like the northernmost tip of Siberia. You know, like it used to be like permafrost and just a frozen wasteland, and now it's all thawed and everything underneath has kind of come up. But like it could be like a lush, like bog almost. It could be a tundra. It could be a desert. You know, like there are options.
I think there'll be some unexpected canyons and unexpected places because there how would you call it, like situations where permafrost would unfreeze and the ground just falls down, kind of falls through, so it creates this like huge holes, kind of big holes. So
Yeah, like a sinkhole. Yeah.
exactly. So I say there's a unexpected canyon in the middle somewhere of a marsh.
Ooh.
Alright, so you want to do like marshland?
Yeah, start.
Because I kind of had an idea like this was the main farming and agricultural city of the planet. So that kind of fits in nicely because then they would have some sort of soil and peat moss or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do is set in a bog. Alright, and Olga, if you want, you can go ahead and draw a canyon somewhere on this map.
Ooh.
I already drew the coastline, so that's going to be my turn. And then we'll go up to John and then Chris. And everybody can draw something.
And what's this canyon called, Olga?
Oh my gosh.
Name it.
The first letter will be T. The next.
Hey.
The.
Oh man, with the names, it's gonna take me forever. I don't know.
We don't have to think of the name yet. We're just drawing landmarks. We can put names to it later.
Yeah.
During the play.
Cool. So that's the coast there. Oh, look at that
That's canyon.
canyon.
Nice.
What about like as like a massive landmark on near the coast, like a lighthouse, but it's really really tall, and maybe it has some other functions besides being a lighthouse.
Sure. Sounds good. Throw it up there. And you can zoom in on the map too. It would help to draw, like if you want to draw it smaller,
Uh-huh.
set it to like fine and zoom in. Like a canyon's huge, coast is huge. You know.
Whoops. How do I get? I'll just select it and delete it. Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
John, what are you thinking?
So I'm going to go off of Olga's idea here, and separated by the canyon. Let's go near the water on this side right here. Just before there will be a lush forested area, because we're assuming this is the east area right here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get the sun on this side. It's provided some lush growth on here, and people living on this side here have easier access to stuff that is a bit more sparse over here versus the lush area on this side. So a little bit of separation. So being on the East Coast might be a bit better.
Okay.
Are those trees or what kind of veggie?
Yeah, like those are the trees, access to logging, maybe some animals in trees for some furs, some sheltering.
Cool.
Okay. So and
Whereas-
probably like a coniferous forest, a lot of
Yes.
pine trees and
Exactly, yeah.
spruce, stuff like that.
Kind of that
Okay.
Davy Crockett style kind of area over here. Whereas this one, you got to be a little bit more tougher to survive on this side if you're just going to be staying on this side of the canyon.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
Mm.
So now we got that going. And now we have to discuss some resources. So next we declare an important resource for the community, something which we might have in either abundance or scarcity, such as clean drinking water, energy, protection from predators, adequate shelter, food, etc., etc., etc.
Mm.
So choosing a reason. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just pointing out. I think you mentioned food. What was a big one for these guys? Like
Yeah.
farming culture.
So do we want to put that under abundance, or is that still scarcity?
I think that's probably an abundance one.
Just on the east side of the canyon.
Yeah, if you're on the east side.
Or like
West side,
lumber.
riding tough.
You want to make lumber abundant on the east side or something like that?
That would make sense, yeah.
So, so we're gonna have lumber and like like agriculture doesn't quite explain it, just food in general.
Yeah, maybe we could get more specific even. What would they grow in the marsh or bog area with that good soil?
Rice.
Rice came to mind, yeah.
Yeah, massive rice fields in the bogs.
Yeah.
We could make it, I'm just looking at like clean drinking water here, maybe on the west side, there's access to a wide river, whereas on the east side, you got access to like a nice forest and whatnot, but on the west side, there's the river, so.
Balance.
Right, we don't want to give them everything though. Like the community, like this is post-apocalyptic, right? Like they're not gonna have everything available to them.
You get water, and you get water, and you get water.
Yeah, everybody's got food, they've got shelter, they've got water, they've got it all.
But they're bored as
That's-
fuck.
If it was just like over here, that makes it more difficult. That's the
Right,
challenge.
because they are surrounded by salt water
Yeah.
being on the
Exactly.
coast.
Yeah.
Right, so like they would have to have like smallish ponds, maybe some glacier melting off of a mountain nearby somewhere still.
Yeah.
So maybe fresh, clean drinking water is a scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
but like water itself isn't necessarily, because you are in a bog. Like you can drink the dirty water, but you run the risk of infections and diseases and stuff like that sort.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, the
So
salt
do-
water is quite good today.
Yeah, fresh, clean drinking water. Is a scarcity.
Do you think they're
Alright, and because there are massive zombie hordes, like they're gonna need some protection. Like they're gonna need walls for their settlements and stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if that ties into the lumber a little bit. But like what if like because the ground keeps giving away every year like spots of the community give way and some of the structures they built would collapse into the ground or something. I'm thinking of how we could play, because it seems like they have a lot of lumber to build structures for protection, but maybe they don't have the craftsmen to do it, or maybe whenever they build stuff, they have to keep building because it all falls to the ground eventually.
Right, okay, so like it's like as a form of protection, almost everything needs to be stilted.
Everything,
You know, to take them off the ground, and the stilts like they'll shift a little, or because you don't want like a concrete base or something.
no.
You want as
Even
wide of a footprint as possible, but not heavy.
It's like quicksand was scary when we were kids. If we made it scary again, it'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. So as a scarcity, I'm gonna put permanent structures.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a cool.
Permanent.
Stable structures.
Nope.
Yeah, they might have to be a little nomadic or something.
Yeah.
What is 1.4 million?
Would the zombies get stuck in marshes?
Well, I'm thinking more like they're not just your like every creature gets infected. There's zombie birds, there's zombie snakes, there's zombie humans, there's zombie monsters out there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because the Underdark is a thing that kind of exposed itself when the gnomes came out. You know, so like there are Underdark creatures that humans didn't even fathom existed other than in like folklore and nightmares. So,
I see.
and then there's Feywild creatures. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not just going to be human zombies. Just FYI.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Alright, so we'll save that for now. Everybody's got something. We got food and lumber as abundances and drinking water, clean drinking water, and permanent structures as scarcities. Okay. So
What
now
kind of energy, Zach, are like sources of energy? Are those like, those could be magical sources of energy, like power
Yes.
sources or something?
So there are there are artificers in this world, so there is a level of like arcane engineering.
Well, I would say that's a scarcity. So that's like, you send out your mission on these deadly areas to go get some of that power to power something, that should be a
Yeah,
hard place to reach.
so as the game continues, like I'll describe what we can do, but like that would be something like start a project. You can say it's going to take 6 weeks for them to engineer this power source, you know, and then somebody might throw a complication into it, you know, to make things tense and interesting, you know. So like keep these things in mind. We will be using them, but that's enough for now.
Cool.
Okay. So the basic unit of play in the quiet year is a week. Each week is a turn taken by one player. A week should take an average of 2 to 3 minutes per person. During each week, the following things happen. The active player draws a card, reads the relevant text aloud, and resolves it. They follow all bold text. Project dice are reduced by 1, and any finished projects are updated. The active player chooses to take an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Cool.
Retires next week and we'll go.
Okay.
We don't really need to draw a card. I think we all know how to do that.
Just click it.
Yeah, what are we gonna click? Oh, this
So
one.
there's a deck of cards over in the bottom right near the chat.
Nice.
So you can click to draw. So you just click on the deck
Mhm.
and it'll give you a card.
Okay.
And then you'll read the 2 prompts and pick which one you want to act on.
Cool.
Okay, so unless your card specifically told you otherwise, the next step is to reduce each project die If a project finishes early, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Okay, when the project gets completed, it's assumed that it was successful and it's beneficial to the community. In some cases, it might make sense to have an investigative project end with a hope dispelled. Even in these cases, the completion of a project should always feel like a step forward, not backward. This doesn't always mean that the whole community is happy with the results, though. Remember, we want to create conflict. It's going to make a better story for later.
Right.
So you can, as an action on your turn, you can discover something new. It might be a problem, an opportunity, or a bit of both. Draw that situation onto the map. Drawing should be small and simple, smaller than an inch, finished within 30 seconds. 30, like, drawing on a computer is not quite that easy unless you have the pen and everything, so it takes time. When things are seem too controlled or easy, we can use this action to introduce new issues and dilemmas. When individual characters get introduced, we'll give them names and record those names on our index card. I have another one up here labeled names at the top under Vanaras. Some examples include there's a dried up well located at the edge of town, many mangy wolves have been slinking around the forest, etc., etc. You can read that.
Sure.
You can start a project. Like John said, you're creating energy, like a reactor or some sort of energy source. And as a group, we would quickly decide on how many weeks that project should reasonably take. We're going to be doing from 1 to 6.
Cool.
We are a larger community, and we will have like we have a lot at our disposal, like in terms of staff. But resources are, again, not always in abundance.
Okay.
But that's something we can all figure out. And as we continue on, hold the discussion was another option. You can choose to open with a question or a declaration. Starting with you and going clockwise, everyone gets to weigh in once, sharing a single argument comprised of 1 to 2 sentences. If you opened with a question, you get to weigh in last. If you opened with a declaration, that's it for you. A discussion never results in a decision or a summation process. Everyone weighs in and then it's over. This is how conversations work in communities. They are untidy and inconclusive affairs. Each discussion should be tied to a situation on the map. When a discussion ends, mark the situation as it is attached with a small dot. Yeah. It's important to stay concise. If any of us feel like we are more to say on the topic, you can always hold another discussion on your turn. We'll be constantly updating resources based on what we've been talking about. If all of a sudden, like, a new form of fish is discovered that seems to populate the area now, or whatever, all of a sudden now food is another, now we have a lot of abundance type thing. Here's the information on contempt. If you ever feel like you weren't consulted or honored in decision-making process, you can take a piece of contempt and place it in front of you. This is your outlet for expressing disagreement or tension. If someone starts a project that you don't agree with, you don't get to voice your objection or speak out of turn. You are instead invited to take a piece of contempt. Contempt will generally remain in front of the players until the end of the game. It will act as a reminder of past contentions. Its primary role is as a social signifier. In addition, you can discard it back into the center of the table in 2 ways: by acting selfishly and by diffusing tensions. If you ever want to act selfishly to the known detriment of the community, you can discard a contempt token to justify your behavior. You decide whether your behavior requires justification. This will often trigger others taking content tokens in response. If someone does something that you greatly support, that would mend relationships and rebuild trust, you can discard a contempt token to demonstrate how they have diffused past tensions. Whew.
Wow. Interesting.
My throat is killing me.
Oh,
And again, just try to keep your opinions to yourself and to your own turn.
sure.
Let everybody take their turn. If you don't agree with it, take that contempt token and just leave it there. Everybody gets a turn to talk. Is basically all this is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And pacing. At the beginning of the game, we only have a basic sketch of the landscape. From this humble place, a rich tapestry will emerge. How and at what pace? The cards of spring will ask us a lot of questions, which will establish more about the landscape and the inner workings of the community. We should use spring to become familiar with the mechanics and structure of the game. There won't necessarily be a lot of tension or conflict during spring, and this is fine. In summer, larger threats and greater progress will both emerge. We'll begin to define our community through our actions, and some
Some seeds of discontent.
And some seeds of discontent will likely.
yeah. Oh right, okay, there it is. In autumn, danger and failure become more visible and serious. This will be the most trying season. In winter, the community will continue its work and preparations, and as players, we will contend with the dramatic irony of knowing that the frost shepherds could arrive at any moment. If ever the map feels lacking or the community seems to have domesticated the world around it, we can introduce new dilemmas. What happens when a child murders his mother? What happens when someone screws up and it costs us a food supply? And it says we're ready to play.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Wow.
Okay, so to get things going, anybody want to volunteer to go first?
You should go first.
All right, so I'll go first.
You're voluntold.
Okay, so where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangement and why? Or what natural predators roam this area? Are you safe? Well, the obvious answer is there's a lot of zombies roaming around
Mm-hmm.
this area.
We can establish that.
And I do want to stress how dangerous this is. So I will draw some zombies. Mostly to the south.
Mm.
How to draw zombies.
Zombie.
And you want to try to refrain from using words on the map. Like try to keep it to pictures.
Sure.
Okay. Can you maybe add little X's on their eyes so we know they're dead?
Good call. Nice.
Awesome.
Alright. Okay, so now
This looks like cave drawings.
I'm going to start a project. The project is going to be setting up some sort of like no man's land where they keep the undead off.
Mm.
Trying to think like because like I don't think a wall would hold in the bog. But okay, so they're gonna build a wall here, I think. try to cut off from the canyon to the water.
That makes sense.
Try to at least reduce the ways it.
Who's gonna
Okay,
pay
so
for it?
Who's gonna pay for it?
Mexico.
to be determined.
Build the wall.
One, and I think this is going to take. That's a lot of land to cover. Probably like at least 6 weeks. I'm gonna go with the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's gonna be my turn,
Heal.
and that brings us to Reed.
Right. Okay. Draw a card.
Very good.
Drag it out. What group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or, oh, thank you. Are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common?
Cool.
Probably let's do the first one. What group has the highest status in the community? I want to say farmers. Is that crazy? Because they
No,
own the land.
Doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah. Let's say farmers, because they own the land and they kind of, take care of everyone, feed them, and to get
Okay.
inclusion in the group. Let's say like the farmers have their own like circle, the board that makes decisions. So to gain inclusion in that group, maybe like there's not much you can do because there's only so much land.
So go ahead and draw
Yeah.
farmers
All right.
on the map.
Farmers. What would they be? Oh, so the city, I'm imagining probably over there. I don't know, I'll put it over. Should they be behind the wall?
Your choice.
I'll put them here. Some farmlands. Just a couple. Beep, beep, beep. Farmlands. Alright.
So they have so much
Okay.
status because they feed everybody
Yeah.
and they stick together. They got a co-op.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright.
Yeah, and then what are the other options? Discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
Yes.
I'm gonna hold a discussion, and I'm going to ask y'all, should people still eat meat considering the scarcity of resources?
What's that?
Should people still eat meat considering the scarcity of resources?
I know the farmers have a lot of say in this, but I'm going to say whatever's available. If meat's around, we should eat the meat, and if there's no meat, then we don't eat the meat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would, as a someone living in this area, if it's edible, you gotta eat it. And if it's got skin you can wear, you wear it.
Okay.
What would we do as alternatives for protein?
Yeah, you asked the question, so you get to end it, I think.
Oh, you have to end it? Because okay. It's open-ended, but say vegetable protein, beans.
You don't have to answer like any questions. Like you
Okay.
just kind of make your own statement.
Sure.
try to represent like a community, like
Mhm.
Yeah, part of the community wants this to happen, right?
Yeah.
Part of the community is like, maybe we shouldn't eat the meat.
Yeah.
And
We could feed more people. The community, part of the community says we could feed more people with the protein than feeding 10 cows. That's all.
alright.
Cool.
So John, go ahead and draw a card.
Little clip. And I just drag it onto the map, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So number 5, spring. There's a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Ooh. Alarming weather patterns destroy something. How and what?
Ooh, good one.
We're gonna go with some legends. Let's start the history. I'm just going, okay, so there's the disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Oh. And this will tie into the discovery that I'm going to use on this turn as well. So the legend is the, what's that? Oh, the legend is the land harnesses a source of power, and anyone who has the majority of that power is said to be able to control the territory in which they live. So basically, there's some type of magic energy here, and it's scattered around this place. Don't really know where, but the more of that energy you collect, the stronger you become. It's basically what that's saying. It's like,
And is this the bog specifically, or is it the planet as a
this
whole?
is this continent area where we're at. This localized to this place. This is just one area of the world, right? Out of 5 places?
Three.
Okay.
Well, 3, 4. Okay, there's 4. There's an underground city
Oh,
in the
so
middle
this
of the
one-
dead zone.
Okay, cool. Let's keep it to just this one section here.
Okay.
And for the rest of the turn, for the rest of this turn, I'll do the discover something new. From Chris's watchtower here, they've seen gleaming hints in the southern district. Something they haven't seen, looks like stars kind of shining along some ridges, but it's hard to get to those because of these zombies.
Love it.
Okay, so go ahead and draw the latent magical energy of the bog on a map somehow.
I'll do that one in, whoa, oops. No. Get rid of it, yeah. Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
Alright. And I'm just gonna use white here, freehand. I'll just do it in white. Right here. So there'll be little glints over here,
Nice.
over here, and a really big glint right here. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's the
And I'll do 2
discovery.
more.
That's the discovery one, John.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So from your lighthouse, they've seen just these little glimmers, but right near these zombie areas, the horde part,
Yeah.
they got 2 big ones. A little small one here, and maybe one right in here.
Lovely.
There we go. Oh, and you know what? Hell, why not? One deep into the canyon.
Yeah.
Just
Why not?
random glowing
Just
lights.
because, I mean, who's going to be brave enough to go down there? Oh, that's my turn.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, we got a nice sandwich.
No, that's your daughter, John.
Don't eat her.
Say hi.
Hey.
Hello. Wow.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
It's you too.
Nice to see you too. Hi, Charlotte. Aww, she's sleeping.
Sleeping away.
Nice.
Oh, and by the way, Talia's got White Walker blue eyes.
Whoa!
And she's got grandma's blue eyes.
Whoa!
Aww.
Great grandma's eyes. Great grandma.
Aww, that's so sweet.
All right. Nice.
Okay. And do I just do I roll a project die? Or no, that's only if you do a project, right?
Yeah. So you just discovered these lights glowing in the south of with the horde.
Nice.
Okay. And that brings us up to Chris.
Chris.
Are you not participating, Zach?
Oh, I did the first one. I'm building a wall. I drew the zombies.
Oh, you're still building the wall. I see.
How do I
Yeah,
edit
it's-
you?
Okay. Well,
Oh, okay, I got it there. All right. A young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. What is it? Or an old man confesses to past crimes and atrocities. What has he done? I think we just discovered something cool, so instead I'll have this old man confess to something. I think he confesses having something to do with the zombies, their creation.
Mm.
And yeah, he's kept that he kept that one to himself for a long time, but he confides in his little group.
okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and try to draw that.
Right. Okay.
Draw a guilty old man.
Yeah. Now, does this old man have a name?
Maybe it's
And again, he doesn't have to be human. Like, it could be an elf, it could be a gnome.
okay. Right.
Right.
Yeah. The gnomes are like kind of the artificers, engineers, and the elves are more magical, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's a gnome. Let's say it was a gnome. Some experiment went wrong, and like trying to give superhuman strength or super strength to people, it messed them up instead, or something like that.
Okay. Gnome alchemist. Does this gnome have a name?
Yeah, his name is Gilmy.
Can you put that in chat? How do you spell that?
Search
Guilty.
to the Ember.
Kill me now, man. Just kill me now. So that's like a syringe.
Oh, okay.
Some concoction he gave somebody and then it spread.
Is the syringe pointing to where he is?
Yeah, let's say he lives kind of up in that area. It's a big syringe, eh?
Okay. Very cool. Now, do you want to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
So what are our scarcities right now?
Our scarcities
structure.
are fresh, clean drinking water and permanent structures.
Yeah. I'd like to start a project to try and build a pretty sturdy, but I'm thinking of like a massive wagon, but like that has like 18
Like a
wheels.
tank?
18 wheels, yeah, but it can
Nice.
house like three or four families, and it's mobile but tough, and just to help with the protection and stuff, something more durable but still mobile.
It's like a mobile fortress,
Mobile fortress, yeah. Again,
something like mobile city
Right.
or
like design these like things that you'd build maybe a dozen of them. It would like move 1,000 people or whatever.
yeah, okay.
And commandeering this padded vein.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So we'll call them 18 wheelers for now.
Okay. Build 18 wheelers. And how long do you think this should take?
It's more like building the first one so that they could maybe build more or improve upon it. The first one will take at least 4 weeks, I'd say, to get like a prototype going.
Okay.
Maybe 5.
Or yeah, I was thinking a bit longer. Let's do 5.
Sure. It's not a wall. It's not a huge, massive mile-long wall, but it is a
Right, yeah.
complicated thing. So yeah, 5 is good.
Okay.
Yes, well, that's it.
The
Should I draw that too, I guess?
you'll draw it at the end when the project completes.
Gotcha. Right.
Mobile.
Here, so,
Okay. So let's pass a week by. That should be. Yeah. Okay. What's the most beautiful thing in this area? Or what's the most hideous thing in this area?
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawn to the most beautiful thing in this area. So, what is the most beautiful thing in this area?
Ghost.
You know what? I think there's a waterfall. Uh, you know, it's in the canyon. It's from the groundwater seeping through the rock and everything, and out of the canyon, there's a waterfall.
oh, so it's like lower, and there's
Then-
okay, gotcha.
Exactly. It's like coming out of like this underground tunnel, just shooting out.
Nice.
Mhm.
Shooting him.
And that's where most of the drinking water for the community comes from. It's like the only source of fresh water, and it's not like Niagara Falls huge, but it's not like a trickle either. Like it's a decent amount.
Cool.
And I think
I like the shape, so.
I'm gonna start a project. I'm gonna start the development of a military force and base.
Yeah.
Listen to mom.
Now, like there already was a military force existing, which is kind of like how the apocalypse got here.
Mhm.
Like there was a massive worldwide war, right before the zombie outbreak happened.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, bad times here all around. But like they don't have yeah, so maybe build a military base. And I think this would be like if you're gonna try to make it permanent, like you need a permanent base of operations. You can't have it constantly moving like you're trying with the 18-wheelers.
Yeah. Protect that waterfall source, I guess.
Yeah,
Protect some good stuff.
yeah, okay, yeah, I like that at the waterfall, like maybe like there-ish between the forests, still in the wall, but build a military base. And to build it on the canyon, I don't know, maybe like 4 weeks.
It's gonna
Does
straddle the canyon.
Yeah, like it's gonna be using the rock of the canyon, like the earth,
Mm.
to use as support instead of relying on the bog.
Right. Oh, okay. This is more a sturdy rock canyon. I was thinking bog, permafrost that kept decaying. I like that.
Well,
That's big
okay, yeah.
for some
I imagine
stability
to
in the
a
area.
point though.
Yeah, sure.
At some point it would have to get to rock, I would imagine.
It's not permafrost all the way down. So yeah.
Yeah. So maybe a bit longer. Well, maybe 6 weeks because this is quite the engineering feat. They have to first get all the way down there and start building anchors into the rock.
Cool.
So I'll put it 6 weeks. Okay. Okay. And that brings us up to Olga.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Spring. An old piece of machinery is discovered, broken, but perhaps repairable. What is it? Or an old piece of machinery is discovered, cursed and dangerous. How does the community destroy it? Ooh. It's going to be the second one, the old piece of machinery that is cursed and dangerous. And the community will try to destroy it by setting it on fire.
What does it look like? What is it?
So they found an old, how progressed is our community? Like, do they have computers or
No, so there's no microchips yet
no
in
microchips?
this world.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean like
Okay.
magic can't replace it to some extent, depending on what you're thinking of.
Okay, maybe what they found was a chest made of onyx, and inside the chest there was a book with it's a machinery. Fuck. mm, 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 mm. Okay, I need more coffee. Let's say it's a what do you call it? Like a cannon. Maybe they found a cannon as they were building the wall, and they were maybe like digging, to kind of like level it out. They found a cannon made of onyx with some arcane powers in it, and they realized that maybe it was too unstable, or they were afraid that it's too old and unstable, so they're going to destroy it by melting it down, because that's what you do with stone, you melt it down.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
They try that. I don't know if they're successful.
Well, it says the community destroys it, so they were successful.
Okay.
So go ahead and draw your arcane onyx cannon.
Arcane onyx cannon. They found it, so they're building the wall over here. Say they found it like here. I'm gonna zoom in. A little bit of arcane power. You can't see that. Okay.
Okay. You like to hold a discussion, discover something new, or start a project?
I'll start a project.
Okay, what would you like to start?
We will build what do we need?
It doesn't have to be like make a building for start a project. That's just kind of what I've done.
Just make
But
a
like it could be like
Start an organization or something.
Maybe organize like a market. Is it something that's like assumed that they're gonna have a market, or do we need to work on that?
well we're building the city from the ground up, so we're gonna need a market for sure.
Yeah, let's create a market, and that's gonna take a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be very long to create up a market. You know, everybody needs to trade, everybody needs to eat.
Yeah.
So I think 2 weeks is more than enough time to organize and get it.
Okay. Thank you. That's
All right, John.
market.
All right. Before I go on and draw the card, Zach, this little one right here, this little sparkling thing by the waterfall, is it possible to put it inside the waterfall so it's not like right out now that I see there's that opening there?
Like up here? Well,
Yeah, like see where this one is right here? Like,
yeah.
you know how that you created an opening from this canyon right there? Could it
Yeah.
be inside the canyon as opposed to like sitting right out flat on the land there? So it's
Yeah.
hard to get to?
It's real tiny. I'm trying to move it. So you want it like there-ish.
Yeah, like inside where the water is coming out from.
Yeah, okay.
Cool, awesome, thank you. Just now I saw when you created that, like, oh, that's a cool idea. Let me just place this down here. John? And put that in. Okay, spring. You see a good omen. What is it? You see a bad omen. What is it? I'm all about the good omen, so let's go with the bad omen. We see a bad omen. Far in the distance, we'll use Chris's lighthouse again, in this area to the west, northwest right here, the sight of 4 massive tentacles stretch out from the sea and then just go back down. Massive tentacles, like we're talking about Cthulhu-style tentacles here.
Okay.
And it just goes back down, and everything goes silent after that.
Shit.
But anyone fishing on those areas, they saw it. They saw it.
And yeah, the wise old man in the tower's like, you know what they say when you see giant tentacles? It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain tomorrow.
It's calamari time. That's right. Okay. Zach, can I just delete this? The card here.
Yeah, you can get rid of the card.
Okay. And the project. Yeah, let's go with
Yeah, research expedition into like what the hell it was.
yeah. I almost want to send them out there. Can I build off your military story,
Yeah.
Zach? Okay, cool. Word gets way to the military that there was sight of some giant creature over there, so they're going to send an elite Navy SEAL style squad to kind of submarine out there. What kind of boats would they have, Zach? Or sea vessels?
Well, it would probably be similar to you remember the airship the Elysians had where it was powered by an air elemental? It would be similar, but it would be powered by a water elemental. It'd be like a jet boat almost.
Cool. All right. We'll we'll send 2 teams out there to do an investigation and see if anything was left in those waters. Who knows? Maybe they're top squatters now.
And how long do you think this will take?
Well, crossing over from there to there, word gets over. They have to travel. They get in. And Chris, how long do your 18-wheelers take to?
It's five
Yeah.
weeks for those.
5 weeks to get there. Okay, so yeah, this one will be at least 5 to 6 weeks of
For the
recon.
expedition?
Yeah, after Chris's things are built and stuff, because I would assume the military has similar smaller 18-wheelers.
Well, the first one hasn't been built yet. There's still 2 weeks
Oh,
left.
true.
before
Yes,
the-
that's right. Yeah.
So it would just be like a manned expedition, maybe on
I guess
horseback
so.
or
Yeah,
similar
horseback.
beasts.
Yeah, we're just lugging this boat across some wheels here. Okay.
Yeah, so
That would take
or you could they could just go like to the north coast, the northeast coast, and then take boat from there. Alternatively, instead of dragging it the whole
Yeah,
way.
that's a way safer option. And
Why
there's
would they
that.
build the boat?
There was a
in the
wall
middle
here,
of
wasn't there? That they
It's
put you
it's gonna be built when they leave, basically. It's not
Oh.
built yet.
to? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do a little sea expedition.
So we'll do 5 weeks for that one.
Cool.
Alright, so
Well,
that goes
nice,
around.
nice.
Okay, so the walls are done and the marketplace is done.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Cool.
So working on projects. When a project it is assumed that it went successfully and is beneficial to the community. In some cases it might make sense to have an investigative project and blah blah blah. Does it say anything about a giant? Yeah, so go ahead and draw your marketplace. I'll go ahead and draw me a wall.
Okay.
Hmm. And in my head, this wall is partially done with the help of magic, either druids or otherwise, to mold the earth. So it's more of like a natural wall instead of like,
Bricks.
yeah, it's not bricks, it's not really like wooden posts. It's kind of like, it's more a natural hazard, like
Cool.
built that way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Contempt. I'm taking it to contempt for that. Just kidding.
301785. Yes. Yeah.
Magic wall, and not far. I don't know if there's an entrance there, but I imagine if there's an entrance in the wall, then the market wouldn't be too far off. So there's like a square, as in
Markets.
as in Market Square, yeah, and then like little kiosks starting to form around it as people pulled up with their fares.
Okay, nice.
Could become the heart
Yeah,
of
so
the city.
there would definitely be some sort of road or something going like towards the lighthouse, the trail at least, like all the agricultural land to the north. Like it's definitely gonna, yeah,
Yeah.
there'll be a road there.
Okay. Good.
Okay. And that's going to bring us to John, you just went, right?
Yes, yeah, Chris is up.
Yeah. So Chris.
There's a large body of water on the map. Where is it? What does it look like? There's a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it? Why is it abandoned? A large body. We're surrounded by the sea, and we have a nice waterfall. So maybe I leave that alone. Well, what else? Giant man-made structure. I kind of drew that watchtower as that as well. But let's think of something else.
What do you think could be left over from the frosty times?
Um, I'm gonna go with the. Well, I want to do water, but that screws up like our scarcity thing. I kind of like the water scarcity.
Maybe there used to be a water reserve.
I'll go with giant man-made structure. It is a.
Again, it doesn't have to be like man-made. It could be Elvish made, Gnomish made.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like, it could even be from a race that doesn't exist anymore on the planet.
Uh-huh.
You know,
That's a good one.
I'm
be
thinking
imaginative.
like a circular, metallic, circular metallic is like a kind of like a launch pad, but it's maybe 2 kilometer diameter, and it's got
Okay.
interesting little bits every once in a while, like circular bits within it. So it's just they have no idea what it's for, because maybe it belonged to a different race that used to live. Because I figured this tundra shit area was uninhabitable mostly until climate change happened. So this revealed a large, massive kind of, let's say runway, but it's a circular kind of launch pad thing. Maybe it's what it was. One of the wise people think. No, they have no idea. I don't know.
Alright, so a giant metallic structure, 2 kilometer in diameter,
Yeah.
is discovered. And go ahead and draw that on the map.
Something like that.
Lovely.
How did you get it so circular? Your freehand is amazing.
Thank you. Every day I practice circles.
And it's discovered beneath the permafrost, you said, as it was like receding away.
Mm-hmm. It might even like be like kind of half in the water there, as the
Okay.
erosion of the shore kind of comes up.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
We can't farm on it, so they discovered it as they were farming.
Mm-hmm.
Shovels hit stone or metal.
Nice.
Okay, so we know where it is. Why is it abandoned?
Because the function has long been forgotten. It was
Nice.
buried.
Okay. Nice. Now, do you want to start a project, hold a discussion, or discover something new?
I want to throw a wrench in the thing, in the mix a little bit, but maybe it's spring and that's too early.
It's never too early.
I think they discovered a pest of some kind that's affecting some of the trees in the forest.
Okay.
Damn.
They've started to discover like a certain rot, and they think, well, they think it's a pest, I guess.
Okay, so discover that new pest has begun infecting the forest. Killing the trees?
Not all, like not super quick, but yeah, they are rotting. Some of the trees are rotting.
Slowly rotting the trees. Nice. So is that going to put lumber out of abundances?
It might threaten it, yeah.
Like, I don't think it would push it to scarcities yet.
No, it just might not be super abundant anymore. Well, I don't know.
It definitely puts pressure on it now.
Yeah, so they can't take it for granted. They can't just be like, let's make 1,000 18-wheelers.
Exactly. So we'll put lumber. We'll leave it there for now. It's just discovered. It hasn't infected the entire forest yet. So we'll leave it for now, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. That's my turn.
So the 18-wheeler is complete.
Nice.
So you can go ahead and draw yourself an 18-wheeler on the map.
Let's go black.
They were for like people to live in.
Yeah.
I actually just watched City and Bones, or I don't know, some fantasy movie. It's on Netflix. It's like part of a trilogy. It's based off books.
Oh.
Fuck's it called? But anyway, that's what they basically had. They had these mobile cities. Like it was like the one was London, and they were driving around, working out, looking for parts and stuff. Like they would just consume like these little like farming communities and salvage their goods. And,
Female, right?
yeah,
The female, yeah.
yeah,
That's an older one, yeah, I remember.
Huh. Cool.
yeah.
No,
Just on Netflix. But yeah, very reminiscent of that. Very cool.
Nice.
So the first 18-wheeler is completed. Okay. Nice.
Nice.
So that brings us up to my turn. I will pull a card. Whoops. A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her in endeavors? Start a project to reflect. Or a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this, and how does the community respond? Ooh. Convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with the first one. And it's going to be a charismatic young gnome girl. Well, it doesn't have to be a girl, I guess. A charismatic young gnome convinces many to help them with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Okay, so this gnome. So this gnome says that deep at the bottom of the canyon, there is an abundance of magical ore that can be used as an energy source. Kind of tying into,
Go back.
tying into John's thing. And I think she enlists the help of I don't want to keep pulling on the military. Like I want another group.
Volunteers.
Volunteers.
Yeah, it could just be a bunch of volunteers.
We have the Farmers Coalition. We have the military.
And then
We
just
have
like people.
SEAL Team 6 out there.
I want it to be a religious sect.
Cool.
Like they think it has religious meaning.
And is she a part of that religious sect, or is she just?
I think so. I think she's gonna be like proclaiming herself as like a prophet almost.
Lovely.
Nice.
Lovely.
A gnome proclaiming to be a prophet.
And she believes she's truly this prophet, or she's just saying that to get them to go.
I think she believes it.
Ooh, all right. So she's dangerous then.
To be a prophet leads a religious sect to descend canyon and looks for the magical essence of this land. Cool.
Does she have a name?
So, well, first, let's see if they're male or female. Okay, so we're gonna go with male name. Their name is Dirge. Derge.
George.
Dirge.
D-E-R-G-E.
D-I-R-G-E. Oh, D-E-R-G.
Dirg.
Dirk.
Yeah. Dirge. The prophet of religious sect. Cool.
That was one of the name of one of Starscream's minions in the movie, who became upgraded by Unicron
Dirk.
into
Nice.
Dirge.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll add a project. Descent into canyon with Dirge. This is gonna be quite the expedition. I think this is gonna have to be like 6 weeks. Like this isn't because they don't know the exact location or anything. They're just kind of jumping into it.
Okay.
And now I would like to hold a discussion. is staying mobile or living in one place the better option?
Yep. First opportunity to respond.
I'm first.
Staying mobile or staying put? What do you think part of the community would?
Yeah,
react?
farmers would think that staying still is more convenient. The military would just have to work harder.
John?
Farmers plow through everything, so even if hard times come along, they stick with their lands and they do their best with it. Otherwise, if they keep moving, they just, like, that would be tough for them because they'd have to restart, move, restart, whereas, tilling what you already have, even if it's not that great, is not guaranteed, but still a better chance than trying to find something.
I think part of the community would recognize how they've had to move as climate change got worse and worse, and a permanent home is something that part of the community doesn't feel is necessary anymore.
Okay. And I'm going to finish with, there is a lot of benefits to having the mobile community, but we need a balance of both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that brings us up to Olga.
All right. There you go. What important and basic tools does the community lack? Or where you're storing your food? Why is this a risky place to store things? Well, let's talk about something the community lacks, because that's interesting. Important and basic tools that the community lacks. Toilet paper. They don't have toilet paper.
Scarcity toilet papers.
Also, the water, they kind of have some dirty water, right?
Also, are you really going with toilet paper? I don't think that was.
No, this not. No, it doesn't really add to the story, does it?
Well, I could make it work. Like, that's my job as DM. I'll figure out how toilet paper becomes the currency of our world. It's like, oh, you want food? That's 3 ply.
Oh gosh.
This is 2 ply.
Yeah, you're cheating me.
No, actually, how about glass? Like, glass is not really a basic tool, but say glasses. If people don't have great eyesight, they might be hard to get by glasses. And
Sorry, lenses.
yeah, lenses. And also, like, important basic tools. What would be the tools? Like transportation. How about water treatment? So say
Like sanitation.
yeah, sanitation and glass is in lack. Okay? No contempt?
Okay. So, sanitation and glass.
Yep.
Are going to be in scarcities. Okay. So now, would you like to hold it?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Also, you need to draw a lack of sanitation and glass on the map.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna take a while. Should we?
I need to draw an expedition into the canyon.
Right.
Oh, should I draw the tentacles?
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, what are my glasses and sanitation, right? What is that? There's some flies
Cool.
and glasses.
Expedition with the little flag. Nice.
Right, yeah.
We
Where's the expedition?
Down here.
Okay.
in the canyon there.
Cool. Cool. Like sanitation and glass.
I love the tentacles.
Okay.
Tentacles are looking great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, and I see the expedition. Lovely.
All right. So now, what would you like to do? Discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
Let's discover something new. And,
Okay.
And what could that be? Just let me open up the card. I see. Maybe someone, maybe as part of the expedition, people were, hiking around the canyon to go down, and they noticed a big pit somewhere in this area with a bunch of bones and some zombie wolves stuck in there.
Oh. Okay. So go ahead and draw a nice little pit with bones in there. Where you would like discover a pit filled with bones and zombie wolves.
Yep.
It's a wonderful place to vacation. The waters are clear. Spelunking is fantastic. Just amazing sights. Lots of stuff all around. Really. Visit all the historic sites.
Take a bone. Take a bone.
Oh man,
Take a bone.
I don't like that. That's okay.
Help yourself.
Nice.
I'm gonna redo that one. Doesn't look like a bone.
All right. So
Yeah.
as you are drawing that, John, you can go ahead and pull the card.
Sure. 10 Spring. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? What belief or practice helps to unify your community? Let's go with some conflict here. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? Okay, cool. So there's a community in this area here. Let me just draw this and we'll go with a grungy purple. Okay. There's a community, almost like a township almost, very close to these zombies, but they are unaffected by these zombie attacks because these zombies recognize them as one of their own, but they're half human, half zombie, and they don't appear like a threat right now. However, they are consuming resources, which is part of the world. So anyone who crosses them, it's either the sight of them they run or they fight. So they don't really know much about these people simply because they look like zombies. So they're being slaughtered right away, just out of this purely for safety.
Right.
And this leads to a discovery. Chris, how many people does your city, the 18-wheeler hold? Like 1,000, you said?
Yeah, I said a few things, and I'm thinking more realistically at one of these 18-wheelers. I was thinking it would hold like a handful of families, so like 5 families of 5, like 25 people maybe, something like
25 people. Discovery. Upon the completion of this and its first maiden voyage of wherever it's going, does it have like a food storage area?
that. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's why it doesn't hold like tons of people. It's got its living space for all those people.
Cool. All right. So Discovery, one of the caretakers of this 18-wheeler here, finds one of these half zombie, half people here near the food cellar, and this dude that they find, who is half elf, half zombie, is raving about some guy named Gimli and how it's all his fault. And he just keeps screaming, "Gimli did this to us. Gimli did this to us." And I think, Chris, your choice. Is this zombie slaughtered on sight, or taken away, or kicked off, or
Put in the pit.
put into the pit?
In the pit with the wolves.
Maybe captured,
Captured it is.
or
So he's
attempted
captured.
anyway. I don't know if maybe he gets away, but they try to capture him. Because they see him talking, right? Like the zombies. I don't know if the zombies talk, but
Yeah, we
He's
don't
also
want
like
to.
get
We don't want to
destroyed.
write up a story yet. Like basically, we'll just end it at they discover this maiden voyage discovers this half-breed proclaiming Gimli is at fault.
Yeah, and like he's raving this as if like like saliva just pouring out, like sweat pouring out of all pores here, mad with rage.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
and doesn't appear to have eaten any of this food supply. He's just found it, as if it was like an access point he was able to get into.
Oh, okay.
Like a garbage chute.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, like a disposable chute. Somewhere where there was access for him to get it.
I have to redesign these 18-wheelers.
Make them more secure.
Yeah.
I just figured your kitchen area would have some type of disposal
No, for
unit.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep our poop.
So the military base completes and the investigation of the tentacles complete.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So the end, I will draw a military base somehow.
And how does completion of a investigation work, Pat?
Well, tell us what you found, what they found, if anything.
They didn't find anything except a very thick, black, almost tar-like substance, pools of these tar-like substances around. And basically, they just collected them in, let's say, giant barrels. Let's say 4 barrels to be brought back and studied. But it appears like this stuff, it's almost like a rubbery liquid. Like if you stick your finger in it, it wouldn't like just dribble off like water, like kind of seep off, almost like a very, very thick oil, like molasses almost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Did they sample some?
I think they'll wait till they get back, just in case.
Completion of days. And
But one dude thinks it's just squid ink. Who knows though? Who knows?
only the DM. Okay,
Ooh,
So that brings
nice.
us-
Overlooks the film. Cool.
up to Chris.
Are there children in the community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Or how old are the eldest members of the community? What special needs do they have? I feel like children are probably the most important thing to this community
Okay.
because, humanity's existence and continued survival is at stake with all the threats and the zombies. So whenever a child is born, and the whole community kind of they must have come up with a system to raise these new kids, but they're like treated like everything, like protected, and so their role is to survive and to become better than their parents. So they study a lot, they learn all the tools relevant to like the times, like they just like try to grow up without dying.
Okay. Survive and propagate. Or propel these community forward.
Yeah, like these little, I can imagine like these 18-wheelers, like they protect like the kids, and even the kids, there's like a community where, like, say the oldest of the teenagers is teaching all the kids how to behave and stuff, and how to protect themselves with weapons. And
Yeah.
That. So go ahead and draw
yeah.
children.
Oh, oops. Yeah. 1860s.
Is it guys snowing where you are?
Yeah, just lightly. Very
Yeah.
lightly. Enough to cover like everything with
Yeah.
3 or 4 centimeters or so. But it's one of those flaky snows.
Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it?
And Toronto's supposed to be hit hard, eh?
Yeah, it's got the big thick ones. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's lovely. I love it.
Nice.
Alright, Chris. Whenever you're done drawing children, you can hold a discussion, discover something new, or start a project.
That's a baby. Okay.
Nice.
That's a good swallow.
I want to kind of go back to the legend. It was about the latent power,
Nice.
and they see those twinkles that are behind the horde of zombies. So they've got to develop some, maybe a clan that's not the religious zealots wants to capture the power before they do. So like a more atheist.
Maybe like an academy, like a group of scholars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking something besides the military. So yeah, something like the scholars would be good. And they're gonna try to think of a way to as safely as possible, go get that shit that's beyond the zombies.
So you want
Like
to,
some project or?
start projects, the development of a method to harness energy by some scholarly outfit.
Yeah, I think they hang out mostly around the watchtower, and they like a portion of them are studying this thing all the time.
Cool.
The circular
I like
disc.
that. Good connect. Good connect. I respect.
So try to draw like a university or something up there.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Or like, are they based out of the lighthouse? Like it started off as like an observation area. It seems, it's the highest point in the area. That's good for surveying the land. And then does it turn into like?
They build it up. They build structures around it to house more people and like other buildings that they need. One has a lab and the other one has something.
Nice. A university at the lighthouse.
Nice.
Okay.
Just heads up, I will have to head out, so I'll be leaving on duty now. So
Okay.
my apologies for cutting it short, but this has been awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of fun.
Thank
We'll
you.
be
for
doing
hosting
more of
that.
it, so
Yeah,
you're welcome back whenever you get a chance.
that was awesome. It's really cool. I love this game. How we've already created a whole lore right here. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome
Building the
job.
backstory of the world, and then I throw you guys into it as players. So
Yeah, I know that's gonna be awesome.
yeah, it'll be great.
It's great seeing
Well,
you,
yeah,
Jordan.
apologies for the quick the hasty bill, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Nice to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, take care, guys. I'll say hi to the little babies for you.
Yeah. Please.
Yes, please. Bye.
All right,
Bye,
see you,
guys.
John.
I'm gonna clean your glasses.
Oh, thanks.
I can see the dust.
Through the video.
Oh, sweet.
All right, Chris, how long do you think this will take for the university to figure out?
To establish the university or to like figure out a plan for this excursion.
For the excursion, I guess, like
Yeah.
harness the land's energy, because you want to do it before the religious sect does anything.
Yeah. Everything just seems like it would take a long time, so it's hard to,
Are you-
4 weeks.
Are you going? Where are you going? Are you going to that one on the shore?
We're trying to get down here.
Are you
Past
going
the
to?
zombies.
Are you going to the same place?
There's lots of bright stuff down there,
Okay.
so that's what makes it tricky. If it's to the shore, they just go and get it. But it's the zombies.
Yeah, and these zombies aren't just here; they're kind of like everywhere.
Sure. That
Okay.
helps actually. Yeah, that's cool.
Like there's
Okay.
just mad zombies everywhere. Like the canyon and this wall are basically providing some form of protection.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the only way in is now here, around the canyon. And how far does the canyon stretch? Does it just kind of go on? Does it come to a close at any point?
Well, it's closed kind of up where the wall is. I feel like that's the deepest.
Yeah.
That's the deepest there, and then it goes kind of less deep and more shallow. And oops.
It's kind of ground level here.
Yeah, I was thinking like somewhere here it starts to level up.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So you can walk down into it from there if you
So,
want.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so like all of this is basically like up on like a hill or a mountain almost.
Yeah. Could be a sharp cliff
Yeah.
on the coast. Or something.
Yeah. Okay, but this is an elevated position compared to down here.
I guess.
Okay.
Well, it could be a little bit, but it's mostly that the canyon goes down.
Oh, it goes down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it could be on a hill, but not like a huge mountain.
Okay, I get what you're saying. All right, good to know. Do you guys want to take a quick break right now? Get some more coffee, take a smoke,
Sure.
Absolutely.
and we'll come back. And I think we'll just jump into some. All right. You guys all settled in, ready to start up?
You bet.
All right. So I guess I'll start with the first summer card. Predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who?
Mm.
Or predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week.
Huh.
Because of the way I wrote my story, I want to go with the second one, where the military is a very large
Mhm.
empire in this world. Like, not to say they are in charge, but they definitely hold like a good footprint in this city.
Okay.
So the military is going to invoke martial law to protect everybody from a massive zombie horde, unlike the size of anything they've seen before.
Mm.
And that's what I'll do as my discover something new. Is this massive horde of zombies
Whoa.
Cool.
approaching from the south.
Usually it's
Oh.
small groups or stragglers.
Just like roving bands, you know, nothing too much to deal with. But this is like an entire metropolis was turned and sent in one direction.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So I will draw some sort of sickly green undead horde. It's not very bright on the background.
These guys lost their heads. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm drawing it now. Sorry.
It's okay. Martial law.
Yes.
So
Okay.
does it mean like people can only like stay outside till a certain time and
I don't know the extent of it, but basically the military was placed in control of the town, the area, for everybody's protection.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Boom.
Massive horde. Blue spotted. From the mainland. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? So martial law is declared, and I think the military starts setting up a rather large military presence to the south
Yeah.
in preparation for a firefight.
Mm-hmm. So it hasn't happened yet. They're just getting ready for it.
Yeah, it's on its way.
All right.
Okay. Alright, and that brings us to Olga. You can draw a card.
Oof, let's see what we got here. Someone new arrives. Who? Why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community, and who? What are they looking for? Let's say someone arrives, and they arrive maybe right before the military notices the huge horde of zombies, and they are in distress because perhaps they were they had a settlement somewhere more down south, but the horde displaced them. So they were trying to outrun the zombie horde.
Okay,
in
and does this person have a name?
Yeah. This person is an augur, and his name is Bragrot.
So
Bragrot.
an ogre?
Yep. But he's like a civilized ogre.
Okay.
But he looks scary. So some people are, exhibiting
Right.
trust issues.
Claiming escape from a massive horde of undead. Okay.
Guys ain't good.
And now would you like to hold a discussion?
We're getting
Discover something new, start a project?
Yeah. I guess we could hold. The town can hold a discussion. Some people want to welcome the ogre and give him safe shelter and food. And what do you think about that?
So it's like we should give this ogre shelter and food. Is kind of
Yeah.
opinion you're stating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a declaration? Like that's your statement? You want
Is it a question
to?
or a declaration?
That's a declaration. Some people, are
Okay.
welcoming him. So.
Right. Okay.
Are like how common are ogres? Like are people familiar with them? Do they?
I don't think they come up very often. There are stories about them in the Underdark. Like gnomes would know more about them, and they have explained that they do exist. Usually pretty dim-witted and impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
Like a typical ogre, but they wouldn't be like. It would be odd to see one up on land, let alone like coming talking, claiming like asking for asylum. Like it is very strange, but like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well then I guess there's gonna be a cohort that's really curious based on what they know about ogres, and the community that they claim to come from down south. Like, how is it possible that they're surviving amongst all those zombies? And so they're wary of the ogre.
Okay, so what's your statement you're making?
We should question it. We should find out more and get to the bottom of what's going on. Because it would be helpful to know if there's a massive horde of ogres as well.
It's a monster and needs to be dealt as such.
Is it your statement?
That's going to be my statement for that side of the argument.
And I think that completes.
Just for a little conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is a monster of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So everything reduces by 1. And that brings us up to Chris.
Draw my card. Oh, project finished early. Which one? Why?
Do we have any projects?
Yeah. Descent into the canyon with dirge and harness the land's energy by the scholars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a consequence, right, if a project finishes early?
If there are no projects underway, boredom leads to a quarrel. A fight breaks out between two people. What's it about?
And do they get killed
Oof.
by zombies? Or?
I have the piece of text, so there's a copy of in the chat. It says if a project finishes early.
It's responsibility of you to tell how it turns out.
Oh. I didn't even read it before. I thought I had read something.
Alright, so which one finishes early
Okay, yeah,
and
so-
update the map to reflect it?
All right, I'm gonna say the scholars finished early because I want them to. No.
Right? No, that's hey, like how do you? I guess you could finish the descent early, but
Yeah, I think. No, I'm gonna say Dirge finishes early because is it Dirge the one that goes in the
yeah,
down there on the expedition?
yeah,
They'll finish early because they started first, and they got this religious kind of luck or something. And the scholars just they're taking their time to sort out this more complex issue of going amongst the zombies.
Mm.
So it's seen as a more difficult journey. So
okay, so Dirge finishes their descent into the canyon early as the scholars focus their attention elsewhere.
they want to make sure they get it right.
As the scholars
Now-
overthink it.
Does pardon?
As the scholars overthink it. I think.
Okay. My thing is, do they find what they're looking for? Do they run into a problem? Like,
Well,
why?
it's more about
Why is it ending early?
why is it ending early? Well, I mean they've completed it ahead of schedule is kind of how I saw it, and why?
Right. So, did they find what they were looking for? Is that why it finished earlier? Or did they run into an obstacle that prevented them from getting any further?
I don't think it would be the obstacle because it kind of implies they didn't complete their project, maybe.
True, and they are religious zealots,
Yeah,
so they're going to be like pretty focused and single-minded on it.
maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they left injured behind to pursue further and get their goal accomplished.
Okay.
Yeah, just the devout discipline of the zealotness. They didn't sleep much. They went hard every day, and they found it. I guess what did they find? Like this glowing orb thing that John described.
I said they go searching for like some sort of ore, but
Oh right.
like
right.
John was saying, he's got like these floating like little like stars almost on the horizon.
Okay.
Like, and there's one right at the entrance to the waterfall too.
Right.
You mentioned.
Well, they were looking for ore, so they I guess they find their magical ore that they had sought out to find.
Okay. Dirge returns home with ore imbued with magic. energy. Very cool.
Excuse me. So I would just put a check mark beside the excursion team.
Nice.
Check.
Okay, and that continues on to me.
Is there a discovery thing or anything I can do? Or no, that's just.
Oh yeah. No, sorry. You do get that.
Not that I had one in mind immediately, but.
Too bad.
All right. Let's. Okay.
Or what are you gonna do with the ore? Are they gonna start mining it, or what do you think?
Let's hold a discussion. I think when the community sees that the zealots have returned with the ore, magical ore, different factions, I say. So a part of the community says, how do we distribute this ore? How should we use and distribute this ore?
It should be used in the aid of defense of our city.
Perhaps you should share the ore with the academical community to learn more.
This ore belongs rightfully to our religious group by divine intervention. Therefore,
Okay.
we'll decide and control it.
Alright.
Nice.
I don't know if I can take a point of contempt on like a discussion like that on a single point there, but I feel like I want it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like the idea of that.
Finders keepers, they say.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. So now me to again. The eldest among you dies. What caused the death? The eldest among you is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. Do not reduce projects to dice this week. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the first one. The eldest among you dies. What caused the death? Now, in this term, do we want eldest to be like the literal oldest person, or do we want them to be like the person in charge, like an elected official, or like the alpha? Like I imagine this is pretty civilized, so it'd be like an elected official, democratically.
Yeah, to you.
So I'm gonna say.
It'd be, kind of unimportant if just the oldest person dies and they were just some dude.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with like the president is assassinated.
Okay, sure.
Ooh, is it
The
the
democratically elected president.
Yeah. Okay, so the elected
it's from the garbage?
president at the time is assassinated by an extremist group.
Oh, dang.
Okay. So, and along those lines, draw something.
A grave for president. Oof. That's interesting. Who's gonna take the power?
Oh, power vacuum.
Should be interesting.
The military or the
The
empowered zealots?
the scholars. Or the
Farmers?
farmers.
Or the children?
Why am I drawing over there?
Farmers are supposed to be important.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
What is that, Zach?
Well, for some reason, like where I was clicking was not where I was drawing,
Oh.
so it made it very difficult. Oh no, your baby.
Looks like a splatter of blood everywhere.
It's a
No.
deconstructed target.
Terrible, terrible. No, no.
Oh, come on.
Okay, let's try this again. That's better. At least that's closer to where I think it is. Okay.
Go.
Nice.
So now I'm going to, I think, start a project. And it's going to be investigate the assassination.
Great.
And I think that's probably going to take like 4 weeks. Does that seem reasonable for this investigation to take?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I mean, the longer it goes on, it gets cold. The trail gets cold. But it could take
Right.
some time.
If it's government workers who are investigating, then it'll be slow and steady.
4 is good.
Okay. So we'll do 4. Alright. Olga.
Alrighty. See what we got. Summer's fleeting. Discard the top 2 cards off the top of the deck and take 2 actions this week.
Oh man.
That was fast. How do
Top 2 cards.
I discard them? Just like
So I'm just gonna move the counter up to 7. I was only gonna go up to 10, and then we would move into autumn, and then winter.
okay.
Let's leave the cards in there.
Leave the cards there. Okay, cool. And take 2 actions. So first of all, we're going to discover something new.
Cool.
Is there a specific strain of the disease that's affecting the zombies in your story, Zach?
Yeah, I guess it would just be like one specific strain, kind of like dominating them all.
Like I'm thinking perhaps there's like a bit of a different version of the disease that maybe has something different. Does that make sense with your story, or should I think of something else?
No, that works.
Yeah. Okay.
A variant.
So yeah, perhaps some of the zombies from the horde. I'm guessing military is keeping an eye on that, so perhaps they noticed that some of the zombies are faster than some others, so it poses a threat.
Very cool.
And based on that, they're going to start a project. The military will want to get their hands on the newfound ore because they need something strong to fight the zombies off with.
Okay, and is this like an espionage type mission they're
Yeah.
conducting?
Yeah.
Or is this like a blatant give us this shit now thing?
No, I think they're smarter than that. They don't want to start a full-out war with the religious group, but they will try to, maybe steal a little bit of information or the material if they can. Yeah, information, let's say. Yeah.
Retrieve the material / information.
That was good. Finally, good. Yeah.
That's discreetly. Cool. So how long do you think that will take?
Say maybe a couple weeks. If a week or a couple weeks, because let's say maybe they'll infiltrate and then try to find out some info.
Okay, yeah. So, well, we'll just do 1 week.
Okay.
Like, it's an espionage mission, and it's planned out and executed in quick time.
Perfect. Yeah, and they have to rush because the zombies are coming. So.
Right. That all makes sense. All right. So let's go through. So the scholars complete their job, and the espionage mission completes.
Right.
So let's start with the scholars. What do they learn, if anything?
So the way I interpreted these lights here is that they were off in the distance, like maybe like in some cliff. You said maybe they were like in the sky. Is that how you thought of them?
Just kind of on the horizon, not necessarily in the sky,
Right.
but just off in the distance. Like, I don't know if John meant like they are more akin to stars, or if they're just kind of like floating globs here and there, like floating above the planet, in the planet.
Right. Well, he described one and it like to be in the waterfall. So then I thought like, oh, we can go get these things. So the way I guess the project might have gone, is they used their watchtower to study them from afar and to study the patterns of what they could see in terms of zombie movements and stuff, sending out different patrol units to gather information. And they've come up with a plan to go and capture one of these orbs out in the distance, and they're going to do it by air. They're going to have to build some kind of air machine so that they can hover above the zombies, make it through, and then send down like a grappling hook to like grab it, pull it back up to the airship, and something like that.
Okay, so the scholar's study of land's innate energy resulted in the discovery of a means to capture these energy globules.
Yeah.
Okay. So something to keep on mind for your turn, the creation of an airship or something.
Right. Yeah.
Now the espionage mission. Oh yeah, how does that go? Do they succeed?
Should I create a blind war? I think they succeed partially, that they do get a sample of the ore, but the missing piece goes when the missing piece goes missing, it doesn't go unnoticed. So the religious zealots know that someone was spying on them and someone stole it. So they become a little more aggressive in protecting it.
Pretty sample. But the church, in quotations,
Yeah, they notice.
notices the absence and becomes increasingly defensive. Cool. Very cool. All right.
I'm gonna draw a church.
All right.
Part of this.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and try to draw something? I don't know how you would draw anything, Chris. I'm not going to force you to come up with some obscure, like,
Ship.
Plan for a ship?
yeah. But you haven't started building a ship yet,
No, yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get you. I'll go,
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to draw a card now.
Oops.
You discover a cache of supplies or resources at a new abundance, or a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity.
mhm.
Now, a cache of supplies or resources. We have the scarcities. Okay, this is something I've been wanting to do anyway. That is perfect. So the sanitation issue has gone on unaddressed for too long, and it is becoming a rampant problem.
Great.
So I'm going to start a project for building a sewer system. The employment of I don't know, kobolds, gnomes, some sort of tunneling creature to build a sanitation system.
Cool.
Couples.
That's a good one to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is going to take longer than just 6 weeks. So I'm going to do it into like 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't think you can do like an entire community in 6 weeks. I think that's unrealistic for a sanitation system.
Sure.
That's a good call. Well, yeah. Does it have to be part of the moving castle?
Pardon? Oh,
That would be
well,
its own
like they made the
thing.
prototype. I don't know if it's like taken off. Like there's probably a few of them, and they have like their sanitation thing where it's just kind of like let it fall out into the ground, you know, as we're driving around.
Yeah.
You know, like they might like compost it, but they're having trouble here in the city.
They can maybe, once this sewer system's built, they can come by and unload
Yeah,
or whatever. Or, you know, the lazy ones will just keep spewing it wherever.
yeah. I'm thinking this is gonna be like 12 weeks.
Cool.
Great.
To build the sanitation system. Let me just draw a toilet real fast.
Nice.
So we got toilets now. Underway.
Under construction.
Soon.
Okay. And then I'm gonna hold a discussion. What should we do about the zombie horde?
We should sacrifice our old people to draw them away.
Redirecting them might be a good long-term strategy. We can work towards that goal.
We need to start conscriptions and build a larger military. Okay, and that's gonna be my turn, and that's gonna bring us to
Use
Olga.
old people to redirect the horde.
Uh,
That's what I said. Someone, yeah, I think.
I basically said the same fucking thing then. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, someone should be.
yeah. Well, one sect said like sacrifice old people, and the other one's like the scholars are like, yeah, we should probably just like find a way to push them in a different direction.
Use other big.
Like I feel like there's the same solution, different ways of getting there.
Someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed, and why do they do this? Well, a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion, start a foolish project.
You can think of a foolish project.
Yeah. Oh my god. One member of the community thought that zombies are appalled by the smell of human feces, so they decide to cover the walls of the community in feces. They're basically building a deterrent out of human excretions.
So the project is convincing people that this is
It's a
thing.
sure.
No, this is happening. They're actually doing this. They put their ideas into motion. So like this is like they're pitching this idea and it gets okayed and they're doing it.
They're doing it.
Oh my
For
god.
some reason, half the people are like, yeah, maybe you're right. You know, maybe zombies don't want to eat pieces, and
He was right about that other thing.
yeah.
Alright, and how long do you think this is gonna take to cover the wall
A week.
in human fecal matter?
A week.
And gnome and elf, whoever.
Yeah. 1 week, I think. They're really like putting their heart and soul into it. So they believe they're saving the community by doing this.
See, I think it's gonna take like 2 weeks just because they have to collect it all and they're gonna have to collect a lot.
Okay.
And then they have to get it there and then smear it. So I'm gonna go with 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks it is.
Started to cover the exterior walls with fecal matter as a deterrent for zombies. Okay. Now, would you like to hold a discussion, discover something new, or start a project?
I will start another project. but something useful. Let's say the military will start maybe inviting volunteers to join the ranks, and they'll start some propaganda campaign.
Starts a propaganda campaign. To enlist new recruits. Okay.
That is it. You know.
All right. And how long is this propaganda campaign going on for?
Okay. Say 4 weeks. I don't know how long we have till the zombie horde reaches us, but
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna 4 weeks. Nice.
oh, we forgot we still don't have a president. Okay.
Well, I would assume that just happens.
Okay.
Like they're gonna the vice president take control, or like the military or somebody. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the foolish campaign, and then the military started up. Okay. So Chris, you go ahead. You'll take the last card of summer before we move to autumn. But the investigation for the assassination ends. So I'm going to say they determine it was done by a group of individuals who call them the Human Liberation Front.
Cool. Human Liberation Front.
Is there a motive known?
Definitely political in nature. They don't agree with. They're basically the racists of the group. They don't believe with the elves and gnomes coexisting. You know, human superiority.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Human Liberation Front.
Yeah, they're liberating the humans from the oppressive nature of the other races.
Right.
So the president maybe was an elf or a gnome, so they killed him.
Yeah. We'll say the president was an elf.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, go ahead.
Lots of stuff going on. This is cool. What projects do we have going on right now? The toilet one. Ooh. Wow. How the hell would it finish so early?
Yeah.
They gave up and just dug a ditch that led to the ocean.
They stumbled across a whole bunch of pre-existing catacombs
Uh-huh.
as they were tunneling.
Ooh. You don't want to finish the foolish project early?
The weather is nice and people. Yeah.
A new shipment of chili peppers came in, and they had a surplus of supply.
I'm gonna do. I want my airships maybe. So I'm gonna say the weather's nice, and the scholars, a lot of attention is drawn towards the zombie horde and the assassination, but the scholars are like, we're gonna build airships, and they recruit some of the people that worked on the 18-wheelers to help them in the designs of these airships, and they already did like a whole bunch of investigations, so they know what they want, and they're going to build them. It'll probably take, I'll say, 8 weeks.
8?
Yeah.
Okay. 8 weeks. Okay, so go ahead and start drawing an airship. Did you draw your silly project, Olga? Fecal matter on the wall?
No, because it's not complete yet. Should I start doing it?
Yeah, just go ahead and start doing that. And I'm not gonna make this draw discussions. I feel like that'd be impossible.
Yeah.
To create airships by these scholars to retrieve magic globule. Okay, and now would you like to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
I think the military wants to start doing something about the wants to use the ore that they have now to try and make some they're thinking explosives, something to do mass damage over area. So
Right.
they're gonna start a project to develop maybe like things they can set up like traps, not necessarily launch. They're thinking go out, plant these down like mines, I guess, for a mass amount of damage.
Okay, starts a project to use magic ore as high yield explosive.
Yeah.
Okay. Weapon testing. And how long is this gonna take?
The ore, at least 5 weeks, maybe more. What do you think, 6?
To convert the ore into a weapon and test it.
Yeah, maybe longer.
6 weeks is probably good.
Okay.
So we'll do 6 weeks. Okay. Explosive. So the zombie fecal project comes to an end. How does that go, Olga?
There are a lot of people who got really pissed off that it even happened, that the project went underway. It attracted a lot of insects. I don't know, does it actually work? Probably not. But, people had hope. It kind of brought people together, like, besides the people who got pissed, it brought some smaller community together. And that's the tea.
Alright. Coupled with a large influx of insects made a bunch of people mad.
Perhaps a fight broke out, when the main leader tried to cover one of the buildings to protect. The owner of the building was like, "No way, not on my street," and they fought. That's all.
Okay. Alright, so now we're gonna be moving into autumn. I'll go first. Someone returns to the community. Who and where were they? You find a body. Do people recognize who it is and what happened? So I'm going with the second one. They find a body.
Mm-hmm.
And the body is going to be the head of the academic society.
Whoa. Didn't expect that.
The twist.
Basically, we're writing the story already. The head of the academic society is found dead. in an apparent suicide by hanging.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Is there a note?
That's for the story to describe later. It's found dead in an apparent suicide by hanging. Cool, so I gotta draw that.
Oh no.
I'll keep it tasteful.
Did you have any banana bread, hun? I feel like I ate the whole thing. I did. You did.
Goodness.
Who found the body?
His granddaughter.
Oh my god. Has it been a while? Or
No, like maybe like a day or two after. It wouldn't have been too long.
yeah.
She works there with him after all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
following in his
Mhm.
footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. I'm writing somebody's backstory already. Okay, so now discover something new. I got a lot of project ideas, but we already got a lot of projects on the go.
Hmm.
Do we?
Sewer.
Okay, can you guys not see the turn order?
Oh yeah.
I had it minimized at first because there was nothing on it.
Okay.
I
But
see. Yeah.
cool, that's very helpful.
Sanitation, military propaganda, airships, weapon testing. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, I was very confused because you guys didn't seem to have a clue how what was going on
It's
to
like, yeah, what products we got going on?
that.
That's funny. Oh, thanks, Zach. I like it.
The discovery of a fungus on the rice fields
Mm.
Ooh.
it's just been as the years like it's been an exceptionally hot summer coupled with the moisture of the bog just led to this new fungus spreading through the rice resulting in no abundance of rice. It's not to say we don't have it,
Mhm.
but it's not as abundant as it once was.
But it's a good reminder to the community. Food security.
Yeah.
Are these French fries weapon testing?
Yeah.
Our food is gonna be endangered.
Okay. Olga, your turn.
Mm-hmm. All right, what happened? So let's see what happens. Project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. Don't modify it a lot. When it resolves, you will be responsible for telling the community how it went. or something goes foul and supplies are ruined, add a new scarcity. Well, we do have a lot of projects, so let's say, ooh, mm, maybe let's say the propaganda didn't go that well. The military propaganda campaign ended up,
Okay.
yeah. When the results, I'll tell you what happened. Is that good for the card?
It just isn't working as radically change the media. Well, how do you radically change it?
Um, perhaps just people, maybe the way the speeches were written, people really didn't buy in, and they really rebelled against military martial law.
Isn't working as expected?
Yeah, so it just had the opposite effect. Instead of people wanting to volunteer to be part of the military army,
Okay,
they
very cool.
decided to dislike them and rebel
Okay,
against.
nice.
Resist, la resistance. Yeah.
Does it result in like the formation of a resistance, or is it just kind of like a movement, much like Black Lives Matter or something like that?
It might. I think it might result in the formation of a resistance, because people will be like, they'll still want to protect themselves from the zombie, or they just don't want the military to tell them what to do. So instead, they just create their own army.
Okay,
Yeah, that is happening.
all right, that works.
And I guess based on that, we could hold a discussion where some young intellectuals and artists, um, they declare that they will not live their lives under the oppression of the military.
That's okay. Military is absolutely necessary because of the obvious zombie threats, and we should fall in line because it's necessary.
You guys like pick the polar opposites. Like you
Yeah,
guys are on the
that's
two
true.
extremes. It's like pro-military, anti-military.
There's a hair on this.
Wasn't this only supposed to be temporary?
What is?
The military control. That's gonna be my point of view of saying is like, isn't this only supposed to be temporary for the horde?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be kind of like my middle ground of the confused guy, like, what's going on here? Okay, very good. All right, Chris, you can go up and draw a card. Oh, I need to progress everything. Okay.
The community becomes obsessed with a single project. Which one? Why? Choose one. They decide to take more time to ensure it's perfect. They drop everything else to work. All the projects fail.
Uh-huh.
If there are no projects underway, okay, so we have projects. Which
We do
one?
have projects.
Obsessed with, I think, the sanitation system because of the obsessive wiping it on walls, and if we reduce the supply, there would be less wiping it on walls. If we let's build that sanitation system, we get that poop flowing out to the lake.
So you're dropping everything else?
Oh yeah, no, I want it. No, I want to make sure it's perfect. Let's add 3
So you're gonna add
weeks
3 more to
sanitation.
that, so it's gonna be 11 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Okay.
it might fail though if we run out of time.
It could still be underway during the campaign. The completion of the sanitation system.
Oh my
And
god.
until then, the poop on the walls is the thing, I guess.
Okay, and just a question, Olga, whose idea was it to put the poop on the wall?
Yeah, it was one of the he was the philosopher and his name was one sec.
Yeah.
Viducius as Duzrib.
Oh come on!
Can you
can't
type
even
that
say
out,
it.
please? Wow.
You can't even say that.
I just said it. Viducius as Duzrib.
Okay.
Well, Zach, you can adjust it if you like.
Zazrib.
It's just-
Zazrib.
That's what all J&D names are like.
Veduccio. Zazrib.
You just call him
Zaz-
Viducio.
Zazrib.
Viduccio.
Zazrib.
The last name needs some work. The first name I'll keep. We'll work on
3
that.
Z's, that's awesome.
Okay.
3 Zs, yeah.
Oh. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, because of
Uh,
Veduccio, we're gonna take our time, get this sanitation proper.
Jesus.
Yeah. That really makes this city stand out, I think, the sanitation issue. You know?
Okay, now would you like to hold a discussion, discover something new, or start a project?
I've got enough projects. I'd like to do, I guess, a discovery. Let's see. I think they discover this kind of natural causeway kind of over here where they've got this like a steady flow of zombies kind of coming through, but like not in any crazy numbers. Someone notices this for the perfect opportunity to test them. The scholars, they're gonna start capturing zombies and testing them. They're like, oh, this is great. Look, every few days there's a zombie kind of just bumping into this wall, and they can easily, safely kind of capture them.
Okay, the discovery of a causeway. Ideal for zombie testing and capture is found. Okay,
Nice.
nice. Along the western coast. Cool. So we'll actually move this at a I'll move the zombie up there for you.
Hey, nice.
Okay. So that's your turn. The military propaganda ends.
Yeah.
So we already discussed it doesn't go well for them.
Yeah, and it causes an uprising in the young generation of artists and intellectuals, and they form a resistance force. Not very big yet, but
Okay, and do they have a name? You don't have to put one down. We can come up with it later.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be called dispatch.
Dispatch?
Yeah.
Dispatch.
Something dispatch.
Alright.
Hmm.
The strongest among you dies. What caused the death? The weakest among you dies. Who's to blame for their death? Hmm.
There's so many cool prompts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna say, since the sanitation system is taking so long and it was put on hold, like, it took so long before anybody even started doing it, even though they knew right from the get-go it was gonna be a problem. A new disease or illness has spread through the I want to say children because they are like
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that this community is very focused on.
Yeah.
You know, so a new child-born illness, maybe resulting in a lot of like stillborn deaths.
Mm.
You know, they can't figure out the cause. It's not killing any of the children already born, but it's almost like it's causing like an infertility
Mm-hmm.
almost, where it's getting more and more difficult to produce new offspring.
Yeah, that's cool.
And everybody's blaming the current government for not stepping up the sanitation concerns earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you draw infertility issues?
Mm.
That's an excellent question.
Can put a big X on my baby.
Oh,
That's true.
On my baby.
my baby.
That is definitely the easiest thing to do. I need a bigger line.
No.
A massive amount
And I got really into drawing.
We got poop and dead baby jokes over here.
on crisis. Okay, very cool. So, in response to this, I think I'm going to start a project, and it's going to be for like a boarding school, mandatory for all children,
Mm-hmm.
to ensure their safety, their education, training, and all of that. They want to make sure that they do survive. So
That's nice.
Where would that be?
build.
In the university? This is too far.
I think it's going to be offshore.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Like, I think it's going to be like a structure built in the ocean.
Ooh.
Incredibly difficult to get to, well monitored. Kind of in between the military and the academy, the scholars. You know, like both are going to have access to it.
Nice.
And that's going to take,
A while, probably.
yeah, it's going to take a while. But I don't want it to take forever. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. Okay. Okay. So that's going to be my turn. That brings us up to Olga.
Hmm.
Go ahead and draw a card.
Harvest is here and plentiful, and in abundance. Or cold autumn winds drive out your enemies. Remove a threatening force from the map in the area. Ooh. I mean, should I remove the horde? Would they be scared by the cold autumn winds? Probably not, right? We can't. So I'm going to
Well,
edit.
maybe yeah, never mind.
Well, it could be like incredibly harsh wind and heavy wind that kind of pushes them away. Like they may not be bothered by the cold, but they're not gonna like path of least resistance. You know what I mean? They're not gonna trudge into the wind if they can go the other way. So like you could do it if you want. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, no. Maybe we'll remove the fungus instead.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say the university did some research and they were able to come up with techniques to create a better airflow among the growing vegetation that kind of contributed to healthy plants.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so let's say the technology that they're using for the airships, they're able to implement some of that technology into the agriculture.
I don't want to turn that into a project. But like you could just put like the cold winds kill off the fungus.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Like if you want to start a project for the school to prevent it next year, you can.
Did we progress the turn order this round?
Not for Olga, no.
That happens at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what do we have? Sanitation, airships.
No, but you were right. I didn't do it after my turn.
Oh, okay.
Sanitation, airship, weapon, boarding school. Let's discover something new. Yeah, there's kind of empty over there, so I was thinking where we could.
Like there are zombies everywhere.
Yeah. Perhaps someone finds another kind of similar. So you know that your launch pad, it's made out of metal. Was it metal?
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps someone found a tower or some kind of building made out of the same metal, but they don't know how it functions or anything. It's like a ruin. So I'm gonna draw it over there, somewhere here. Let's put it.
There's a discovery of another metal structure.
Yeah.
it's beneath the surface, or like starting to protrude out of the surface now?
Yeah, starting to, let's say, starting to protrude.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. That brings us up to Chris.
The parish arrives. Who are they? Why have they chosen your community and what for? Or a small gang of marauders is making its way through local terrain. How many are there? What weapons do they carry?
Mm.
Small gang of marauders.
Marauders.
Yeah. Making their way very tactically, killing small groups of zombies as they go.
Nice.
They have like really solid type of melee weapons. And they're like really quiet, I guess. How many are there? A dozen. The dirty dozen.
So a small group of marauders make their way up the bogs, mowing down undead with their sturdy melee weapon. You said blades, or
Yeah, like yeah, variety of melee weapons. I guess blades and yeah, blades are quicker and quieter than most.
yeah?
Nice. Where are they heading?
Okay.
They want like, you know, it's too hot down south, but they don't go too close to civilization either. They just kind of like rob and then duck out.
So maybe like near this other community of like the half breeds,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or maybe up and down the west coast instead of east coast.
Yeah. There seems to be less traffic. They picked up on that somehow. This West Coast is, I don't know. Yeah. Wonder if they have a relationship with the half breeds.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe I'll draw another. Maybe I'll ninja on the West Coast.
nine.
Are they humans or are they?
I
Doesn't
think they're a mixed bag. They're not Human Liberation Front, so I think they're a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Human Liberation Front. You're obsessed.
And discovery or discussion.
Hey, sleepyhead.
I think they're going to they want to discuss as the seasons are getting cold if they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we ready for winter? Is there anything we should be doing?
Um, we should start looking at other renewable resources.
Mm. Religious group, the church should share their findings with everyone. I mean, that's kind of speaking to the renewable resources. The church has the resources; they should share it with everyone. I say. Doesn't it answer your question?
I want to feel safe, and with that zombie horde hovering, they should deal with that before the snow settles.
Okay.
She wants to cuddle.
So weapon testing comes to an end there, Chris. How does that go?
I think it takes some trial and error. They used way too much of the ore in the first set of testings, and it blew like massive craters, and I think a couple people got injured. Maybe one of them even died. A couple people died. They weren't back far enough when they set it off. So some tweaking was involved. So casualties were unavoidable. But I think they ended up with, a landmine that could take out, say, a sizable area, like a 10-meter diameter area, something like that.
Okay. Explosive devices. Destroying everything in a so 10 meters, that's like 30 feet.
Yeah, that is 30 feet diameter.
And then 30 foot. Only because D&D's in feet.
Yeah, true.
Smallest. Okay. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have weapons. Now we have weapons.
Yeah, so, well, they have energy bombs. Do you want to draw that on the map somehow?
Sure.
Okay, the community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early, or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and finds something that has been previously overlooked. I'm gonna go with they find something else that's gotten overlooked. I think
I'm so curious what you're going to come up with.
I think they discover an underground oasis of like a temperate climate.
Nice. That's great.
So I'm gonna try to draw that real fast.
Nice. And that waterfall river goes through that oasis a bit.
So I'm trying to draw a palm tree,
Mm,
and then I'll put like a downward arrow so we know it's underground.
mm-hmm. Is it, how big is it?
The oasis,
Yeah.
probably like something like that big.
Mm.
Oh,
Cool.
so you think they'll be able to move their city down there?
Like almost the size of the city, but like they could, like it is an option, but like that's like start of a project or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So that's the card.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Now I think they'll do. I'm going to start a project. Investigate this oasis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be a quick one, like 2 weeks,
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
maybe 3. 2. What do you guys think?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. 3, maybe 3, because it's in the caves, right? So.
Yeah. So okay, 3 weeks.
If they're just hiking it, really, you know,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh. What happens? Someone sabotages a project and the project fails as a result, or someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond?
Ooh, I love this.
Which project should be sabotaged? Or trying to be sabotaged?
I know the answer I would choose.
The Oasis?
But it's only because of the story I want to weave, not necessarily the story that I will be weaving.
Yeah. But I don't see why people would wanna sabotage the Oasis or boarding school. Maybe some people might think the boarding school is the classist. Or maybe Viduccio is not a fan of the sanitation system. Let's see. We have a Human Liberation Front is going to sabotage a boarding school because they don't think that all races should have a right to get the same education as humans.
Okay.
Something like that. So, but they are caught trying, and the community, how they respond, is going to be a discussion actually. So, say the dispatch will want to I forget the word. When you like kick someone out. But they'll want to ban Human Liberation Front as a party.
From the city.
Okay, so the community responds by banning the Human Liberation Front
Yeah,
due to terrorist tactics.
Yeah, but I was gonna make it a discussion, so that's what one of the points is. So and then you and Chris maybe can
Oh, okay.
participate.
So the community just responds by having a discussion. Like
Yeah.
no other actions held
Yeah,
by discussion. Okay.
so it's kind of open ended. You can I don't know what you want to do with that in your story. So what do you think, Chris?
I think we
So
should just hold the individual terrorists responsible,
Mm.
I guess.
What was your position, Olga?
I'm gonna change my position. Some of them are going to say
Well, sorry, I thought you started with a declaration. What was the question?
I did have a declaration, but I'm changing it.
Okay.
Say part of the community is going to say that they supported the Human Liberation Front. So they didn't want any punishment for them.
They're right. They shouldn't all be in the same school.
Yeah.
The terrorists should be held accountable for their actions as individuals, not as a party.
Yeah.
We need a better means of surveillance to prevent this in the future.
Alright.
Okay.
Cool.
So the airship's complete.
Ooh.
Sorry, Zach. Maybe they suck. Maybe the airships suck.
Alright, so the airships are complete. Chris.
Did you not want them? Did Zach not want the airships?
I thought maybe he didn't want the airships. I didn't think of it though until he just said he didn't want one. And you know,
Who
there's
knows?
limitations to them. Maybe they're not powered by elementals. Maybe it's a fire burning hot air into it like an air balloon. So they
Yeah.
have limitations. But yeah, they got one or I guess at least one airship now, and the claw goes up and down and grabs things. They're practicing with rocks, and yeah, it's a big, exciting, momentous day for the engineers involved.
Okay. Completely built. A marvel of engineering and magic.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Okay. So it's my turn now?
Yeah.
Did I just go?
No, I just went.
Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community or conflict flares up among community members, and as a result a project fails. A dark mystery. Elderly have begun going missing. No bodies found, just gone.
Who's missing? Sorry.
The elderly.
Oh.
Mm.
Ooh, is someone doing experiments? Interesting. How many?
Not a whole lot, just
Just a couple.
maybe like a few a month, like a small handful a month.
Wow. Okay. And
No bodies found. No signs of like it doesn't look like somebody's abducting them. Like there's no signs of forced entry, no signs of foul play. They're just disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You gonna start up a new project?
Maybe not right now. They got other issues like this horde still down there they gotta deal with. The Human Liberation Front's constant, political assassination and then attempted sabotage. Um, hmm. I don't know. This is tough now.
A lot going on.
I know. There's a.
Where do you focus or whatever? Yeah. So what's this thing?
That's a repellent for zombies made of poop.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start a project.
Nice.
And it's going to be a project about. They're gonna start building another wall to the south
Oh yeah.
from the canyon across, trying to secure them a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
This one is considerably bigger. Do they want to include the canyon? Or, well, all the agriculture's up here, right?
Yeah, but there's water in the canyon.
Yeah, they don't want to
Yeah.
miss the waterfall area.
You know what? I think they're gonna try to build a wall. Like this.
Oh.
To secure the farmland.
Okay.
Because it's
Are you sure you're not? I thought you were gonna build a wall like where the.
Yeah. But like it just doesn't make too much sense to have all this farmland just out in the open for the zombies to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? No, here, my project is going to be marching the military to confront this zombie horde, to deal with it.
Nice.
And I think that's going to take probably like 6 weeks to mobilize and get set up and
Mm-hmm.
start dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
They do have some new conscripts, but people are still anti-military, so military begins mobilization against zombie horde to the south. Okay. So the investigation of the oasis completes.
Ooh, how does that go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The 3 weeks go by, and the expedition hasn't returned.
Dun, dun, dun. It was too good. It was too good to leave. I get it.
Perfect.
We'll call it an oasis for nothing.
Okay.
But people know that they were there. Did people know about the oasis?
I think this was kind of like a guarded secret for the military. They don't want to give all these people hope.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily the military only, but like higher political figures would also know. But to avoid mass hysteria and all that kind of stuff, I think they kept it under wraps for now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that brings us up to Olga.
Let's see. Natural disasters strike the area. Oh, that's a great idea. Choose one. You focus on getting everyone to safety. Removing abundance and the project fails. When you focus on protecting your supplies and hard work at any cost, several people die as a result.
And what kind of natural disaster is striking?
It could be a flood or hurricane or storm,
Tornado.
or tornado.
The ground could give away in a major.
Volcanic eruption.
Earthquake.
You know, underground volcano we didn't know was there, all of a sudden just erupts. You have options. Alien invasion.
A meteor strike.
Yeah, like you name it, it's all within the realm of possibility.
Gee.
And I'm gonna put rice back as an abundance since the fungus isn't there anymore.
What if? What would be a good story, like development?
Let's start with the disaster and then go from there.
Yeah. So that's
Well, you're trying to think of the end result and then figure out how to get there.
okay.
Snowstorm,
Natural disaster.
snowstorm, fog, thing.
Ooh. Meteorite kind of sounds fun. Let's
There
do
you go.
meteorite because then it will cause a few things. So it's not going to be a huge one, but a meteorite strikes, perhaps bringing something interesting inside of it, but also causing clouds of dust to rise and cover the sun for months, and that's gonna fuck some things up.
And where does this meteorite land on our map?
It lands. Mm, so it lands kind of like off coast here,
Okay.
and yeah,
I was sending a massive tidal wave at the city.
yeah.
Hmm.
At least they'll clean the poop off.
Dust into the air.
Yeah.
Do people die or do
Some people die, but not. It says a few people die. What does the card say again?
remove an abundance and no one dies, or people die and your
Yeah.
projects are fine?
Yeah, I think some people die.
Several people
Maybe.
die as a result. As
Say
they
like
protect.
100 people dies or so because we have 1 million people in the city.
Maybe the people working on the sanitation, they're out there.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
shore.
And some people maybe building the boarding school, but the boarding school, like, it doesn't fail. The project doesn't fail.
Yeah. While trying to protect the city's infrastructure, there are many fatalities result.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is going to be a bit dusty and hard to breathe for a month.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
Now, would you like to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
I'm going to start a project. I think to maybe rebuild some of the housing, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah. Say repair works.
Okay.
Maybe something is found from the wave.
Sound wave started to rebuild homes.
Oh, forgot about the fertility issue. Okay, over to you, Chris.
Okay, and how long is this gonna take to build these new houses?
Couple weeks.
How many
No,
houses are they rebuilding?
it's only 100 people died. Say maybe like roughly 50 houses are destroyed. So 50 houses. Okay, yeah, maybe it'll take a while. Maybe 6 weeks.
Sure. Put 6 weeks.
6 weeks is or longer. Like if you think realistically, all of this stuff takes like a long time. So I don't know, let's say it's 6 weeks.
Okay, 6 weeks it is.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And Chris.
Mm-hmm. Project finishes early. Which one am I? If there are no projects, okay. The sanitation system finishes early. Why? Because winter approaches and this meteorite, this natural disaster. I don't know. Just the urgency is now driving everyone to work overtime, and they finish it up early.
Focus. Manpower.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So the sanitation system is complete.
Finally.
Three hands. Alright. Fantastic. Alright. Now, do you want to start a discussion, discover something new, or start a project?
Let's try a project, a secret project by the government / military to try and locate our missing members in the Oasis.
Nice.
A rescue team that's a little bit more better prepared this time.
To go back into the Oasis and
I guess rescue
what
/
happened to the old team and rescue if possible. Okay.
Nice. Military stuff.
And how long do you want that to take?
I want
It
them
was
to
3
go-
weeks for the last one.
Yeah. Take 4 weeks. Take 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Okay. So now we will go into winter.
Ooh.
Mm.
Now I'm not too sure if we were just pulling them in order. I don't know if anybody noticed. Were they even shuffled?
Oh, I didn't notice. It could be why we got so many of them.
Because we're using most of the deck.
Bet if I, well, I'll find out in the recording.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit shuffle on these because I want that king to be anywhere.
Sure.
Okay, because that's when our story will pick up. So
Right.
if these projects aren't done, they might be missions or something in the future.
Cool.
Nice.
So
Yeah, the rest.
okay, so
Yeah, I should have left that alone.
okay, so I guess this doesn't matter anymore. We play until we find the king, unless it's the first card I draw. Okay. An infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty.
Perfect.
They have much needed resources with them. Choose one. Welcome them into the community, remove a scarcity, but also introduce an infection into the community. Or bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed? How does it become more dire this week?
Mm,
Ooh.
good prompt.
Okay. Let's see, what are my scarcities? Sanitation is no longer a scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
Permanent structures are still a scarcity. Changes.
Glasses and infertility.
Fertility is
Oh,
a
yeah.
scarcity.
Fertility and scarcity.
Yeah, fertility. Change. Okay, yeah, I like that. So, a half-breed shows up
Mm-hmm.
with an infant child.
Oh.
Half-breed,
It's like children.
a newborn child. Hmm. I think they're gonna get barred from entry just because of their undead nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barred. Entry. They could hold the key. to repopulating
Yeah.
the races. How does it become more dire this week? Sorry, I'm back.
Maybe some women who are pregnant had a. What? Should I shut up? Sorry. Just gonna just.
No, it's okay. Just try. I try to. That's why I'm quiet. When you
Sorry.
said, "Are you-"
Restraint is one of the things. Restraint.
Yeah.
The plant
So I'm going to discover something new.
Mhm.
They're going to discover that those tentacles they saw on the west side now have reappeared right next to the boarding school where it's being built.
Ooh.
That's the discovery you just did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Shit. Where's the boarding school anyway? It's off on the this side here.
Yeah, that's where it'll be built, somewhere over here.
Gotcha. That's funny.
I didn't draw the measurement.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay. So that's that. So the boarding school finishes. So I'll just quickly draw that. Okay. And Olga, you can go ahead and draw a card.
Okay. Are you gonna say how the situation gets more dire with infertility or no?
Well, now all the children they do have,
Yeah.
they just saw these tentacles come up right near it. Like that's
Okay.
where all their children are going to be going, and now they're like, oh fuck.
Okay, makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's draw a card then. What is winter like in this area? How do community members react to the weather? Uh-huh. The winter is going to be cold as fuck. Think because climate change basically, yeah, it has more colder days and more hottest days.
Right.
So they're going to be really tough days where even the ocean almost freezes, and of course it makes it harder for the project, and the community is stressed out. They need to protect the kids, they need to protect themselves from the zombies, and it takes a lot of good leadership to keep everyone sane and together. So I think some good, perhaps good leaders come up out of this time.
Okay. Okay, so the community reacts by propelling strong leadership to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this through like?
What
Do you want to say this is like through the most recent election to replace the president?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
During the upcoming presidential election.
But let's say, yeah, is good leader. Maybe he has some dark secrets that we'll find out.
You will find out in the future.
Okay, and then how many we have three projects. Mhm. The elderly people are disappearing. Then there are murders. There. What else we have? What kind of hooks can we introduce? Let's say it's going to be discover something new, and during one of the winter days, wind was very strong, and the wind brought some broken pieces of a wooden ship to the shore. So that a ship crashed, and some stuff came to the shore, and people found it, but they don't know what happened.
Okay, so the discovery of an old seafaring vessel washes upon shore.
Yeah, maybe old, maybe not old. We don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Discovery of a seafaring vessel
Yeah.
washes upon shore. Alright, do you want to go ahead and draw strong leadership and seafaring vessel?
Oh yes, right. Draw. Okay. Strong leadership and
I need to draw a half-breed with a child.
Mm-hmm.
That was gonna be tough.
Oh shit.
And sorry, was that your card or?
No. I thought I did
Oh.
it. I was like, did I do that?
Yeah, no, that was me. You can go ahead and draw a card though, Chris.
Alrighty.
Oh, there it is.
Game O's.
mm,
Game O's. So we have military action and housing and rescue mission. That's good. I didn't really want to resolve the rescue mission. I had an idea, but that's better left for later.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So the Frost Shepherds, I guess there's like an actual built-in game you can play that involves.
Yeah, they talk about like the pre-existing world they have for in post-apocalypse.
Cool.
Okay. Turn over, so we don't do that. Response upon a shore. The Frost Shepherds arrive. Which means something.
Zombies. Zombies arrive.
That's pretty good. That gives me a lot of story to work with for the one city.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It's funny how
Is it gonna have a name? Oh, right. You had a name for this, right?
Vanaras.
Yeah, Vanaras.
Vanaras, cool.
That big.
And then we'll do a couple more of these just to finish fleshing out the other cities.
Nice.
And then we'll go from there. And then I'll have an idea of some sort of story to get us going. Anyway.
Yeah.
For the new year. I think we'll actually start the campaign in the new year. In December will be mostly more world building.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a good plan, probably.
Now we're used to
Yeah.
how this goes. Should be.
Exactly, it should speed things along.
Yeah, I did not expect it to be so organized. You
Yeah,
have
no, it's a good system they got going.
yeah, that's cool.